Hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again on my Chester Zoo build, and I'm going to start out with a little bit of a cry for help, I suppose. I was building, I've been generally working over in this direction, and I was building the Dunes food court here, and I sort of asked on the video or in the comments, I'd said, anybody got any suggestions of what I should do next or what you'd like to see? And I got a reply from Julie Platt. So, hi Julie, thanks for watching the videos. And Julie said, could you do the plant project? Now, the plant project is these three buildings here, and they're all sort of connected, and they're like greenhouses. But when you go inside, there's like a fancy path runs around it. There's exhibits in there. There's lots and lots of different plants. Unfortunately, there aren't that many photos of it online, or certainly not on Google Maps or things like that. And Zoo Chat doesn't have that many. It has a couple, but it's not got enough. So if anybody has got any photographs of these buildings, which is the plant project, it's the three greenhouse type buildings that are behind June's food court. That'd be great if you could get in touch. Leave a comment in the comments or get in touch with me on Zoo Chat or something like that, and we'll see if we can build that for Julie, which would be fantastic. I mean, obviously, I want to build it at some point anyway, but failing a trip to Chester Zoo, I haven't really got a way of getting on with that. So yeah, there's my my request for the start of the video. The second thing is this, okay, and I just want to show you. This is the bit that we're going to be building next. So we're behind the Islands in Danger building. I know the wording's wrong. I'll sort it out. And the Fountains Cafe, which is due to be demolished. But we're behind that, and we're here. And we've got five, six, seven buildings. There are 7 buildings in this area. And this is the new Madagascar area, and we're going to be building this. So I actually started recording. I said 7 buildings. There's one there. There's one here, small one there, and one there, and then there are 2 more which are up here, which need to go in later. In fact, they go there, I think. Yeah, more or less there. And I started building. I started building this one, and I've done quite a lot on it. It was recorded in a video, and I like the building. I think I've done a good job of the building. Unfortunately, there is one small problem. This is the Lemur Enclosure, and this building that I have lives there. So when I'd seen photographs, I've got some photographs of the area, and I've seen some video of people walking around, and it's not clear on the details on the buildings. There are very, very few close-ups of the buildings. So you've got people sort of wandering around and going, oh yeah, there's some buildings here, and then the video will cut, and they'll be walking through. There's a walk round section here. They'll be walking around that, and it'll show some lemurs and things like that. And then the video will cut again, and it will show them sort of here walking in this direction. So the video doesn't really show things like this and this. And there are videos of people looking through windows of various exhibits, but you can't see the building, and it's very, very difficult. But I did have a picture of this building from about this sort of angle, so I got an idea of what it was, except I presumed that it was the Fossa building, and it isn't. I've since found some plans online of the buildings, and I've realised that actually this is Lemur 2 building. I think it's called Lemur 2. This is Lemur 1, Lemur 2, Fossa building, off-show Lemur 1, off-show Lemur 2. Okay, and these are called sluice buildings. because they're the gates to get into this area. As I said, this is a walk round area and the animals are free to roam in this area, so they need a way of stopping the animals getting out, and that's what these two sluice buildings are for. Good. Having said that, I don't now know what to make. I think I might do some of the outside here and maybe some of the enclosure, because we've got this building. I do need to do some work inside this. So what we've got here is the front of the building, and in real life the windows are slightly further over to the right and there's slightly less gap in between. It's just we might have to do that. In fact, I'm going to have to move those because I don't like things being too wrong, and it's not quite right. So we'll move the windows. In real life, the inside bit is split into a big room at the front. It's like a room within a room. There's a big room at the front with the animals in it, and then there's a walkway runs all the way around the back and sides of the building, so the staff can get around. And I'm having trouble zooming in because the game's a bit rubbish, but there's a walkway runs all the way around the back and down the side, and there's an off-show building here, so an off-show room where the animals can go to. So we're going to try and replicate that. So that's going to be the main focus today, building that, and then maybe some outdoor stuff. It's not going to be a terribly long video today. I've already been chatting for about 6.5 minutes, and I've built nothing yet. So without further ado, let's get on with that, and I'll give you a quick overview at the end. Okay, so I've stopped at this particular point here, just to highlight one of the issues that the game provides for us. So in reality, this path isn't 4 meters wide, it's a lot thinner, and the fence runs down here more or less where the brick column is that I'm moving, and it goes straight across the top of this building, and then straight across the top of that building. The fence goes over both of those buildings, thus forming a seal all the way across. And these would be like pedestrian gates. So part of the problem is the path is twice as wide as it should be, and doesn't allow me to go directly from, which should be here, all the way across the top of both buildings in a straight line. And the second problem is that I haven't got an airlock, a guest gate that is very thin. I mean, these are quite wide, aren't they? So I might be able to squeeze them into the buildings, but I just don't think that they're going to look that great. But we're going to have to maybe have them sticking out of the buildings a little bit. I'm going to have to adjust the fence a little. The problem is the buildings are in the right spot. So where this building comes to is along this corner, and this building's in the right spot there. Based on the plans I've seen and based on Google Maps, they're pretty much in a slightly, they're perpendicular to each other, but they're just slightly off so that the fence can run through. But because this path's way too wide, I could actually get rid of this bit of path and then bring the fence across. That might be a better option, actually, because I don't really want staff walking in this way. I think we're gonna do that. But in reality, this path does run all the way down here, and there is a small gap here that I think people can get through. I haven't had a look at the video properly, but I think we'll move the fence and try and get these two airlock gates put in properly. The third and final problem that we've got here is you've just seen me put on the anti-climb on top of the fences there. Well, in reality, this is it's one of those enclosures with the netting over the top. So there's a couple of poles that hold up a massive amount of netting, and it basically means that the animals can actually climb up the fence and up the netting. They can climb all over the place, but we just can't replicate that in game. The other thing that you might have noticed here, there's a little bit of water. If you actually go into the exhibit, it's a bare amount of water. So we're going to have to cover this with maybe some rocks and plants so that it doesn't look as deep. It is very much a trickle of a water bed that's in there, but I needed to show that it was there, and unfortunately it looks a bit too deep, and I can't do it any shallower, and I certainly can't have it running under the path because that causes too many problems. But there you go. So I'll carry on with the sped up bit of the video, and you'll see me try and rectify this, and maybe then go on to the building, or maybe we'll carry on outside. Yep, there we go. Keep watching. So, as you can see, I've put a few lemurs into the enclosure just to show you where the issues are going to be. So straight away, we've got escape points all the way around this building. You can see that there's climbable bits on the building, and also all of these, they can basically just walk straight out, which is a bit odd because I'm pretty sure there's plaster walls here. So strange. The rest of the enclosure, I can't tell because they can't actually get out of that little bit of building yet. It looks like they can't go through the wooden planks, so I'll have to get rid of the wooden planks, and then we'll have another look and see what the building looks like from an escapable point of view. So let's just do that now while we're here. So what I've done is I've put one of these round things in. So in the actual zoo, there's a small I don't know what you call it, like a little tube thing. Is that what you call it? I don't know. That's how they get out. Anyway, there's a kind of, I don't know what you call it. It is like a metal mesh tube thing. Anyway, we're going to have a look at this. I presume that I have it right, but we'll just have a look at this. Oh, hello. Oh, we're going to have some issues here with various plank lengths as well. Now I see. Let's go for inside. I see. You're going to be problematic, aren't you? Never mind. So we'll just drop these down for now, and hopefully, well, we'll need to come and tidy the building up anyway at some point. That should be enough to let them out there. So I'm just generally making a gap big enough for the lemurs to get through. The reason I did this, put the lemurs in, is it wasn't actually to see if they could escape. It was more to get the planting right in the enclosure. Because there's no point in putting a load of trees in, and then when I introduce animals to it, which eventually I will to all of the zoo, I didn't want the animals then saying, oh no, we don't like this is rubbish. So I need some way of them getting out there as well. So can we habitat this up? So you're climbable. We can pop you in there, can't we? Look, the other side, that's not climbable. How are you saying they can climb up there? That's just ridiculous. But apparently it's saying that they can climb through that, which is pants. Let's exit there. Let's do this. Can we edit the barrier a little? Thank you. Will you move out a bit, just a tad? I can't really move the door out any further, or else it'll look strange if it's not part of the building. Anyway, should be able to climb out there. Can we have another one out here, please? Something you can climb onto out here. I will have to go back and just check that I've got this accurately, and that it is a tube or a hole or something in the side of the building. Let's just have a look. So I'm running the game again. We're going to select the heat map. Let's select one of the lemurs, and it now says they can climb out. And hey, we have an enclosure. Pretty much what I expected. Yeah, I thought they'd be able to climb out there because there's it's climbable onto the roof. But I'm surprised actually they can't get out here, which is odd. Maybe when the little buildings are built, then this one will be an issue. I wonder if there's something I can do. I can obviously make the fence come up and over here, somehow. But honestly, that's looking pretty good. Right, what I want to do is, we've got Hovey in there. Hovey is saying that he's quite happy with some things. So the size of the enclosure is great. The amount of water is great. Then they don't need water. Navigable climbing area is already fine, and that'll be just the building. That's weird. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll need to come back to that anyway. What about planting and stuff? Oh, you don't like the cherry blossom, which was what I put in the middle. But you do want tropical and Africa. Now, I'm tempted to put in some of the enrichment first, and then come back later and do things. What I could do, actually, I've just had an idea. I could change the gate. So instead of having the gate going into the building, I can have the gate going into the yard bit at the back. This is actually a keeper area, I believe. Let me just check my information on that. It is a keeper area, but I'm not convinced it's sealed off from the... It must be sealed off from the lemurs. Yeah, it will be. It will be. I just don't quite know how the lemurs don't get into that through here. It's not clear on my maps. There must be a way of stopping them climbing up as well. That's got to be something we need to have a look at. Okay, let's have a look at maybe putting some enrichment and things like that in. Let's get a basic food and water. What are things like water-wise around here? Shocking. That's the penguin building, and that's the closest water cleaner that we've got. We can probably hide a water cleaner in one of these. It is next to a pathway though, which is a bit worrying. I hate these water cleaners. It's not accurate to the zoo how it would be in real life, and that's just annoying. We don't have any power down here either, so maybe I can put some things in these buildings. In fact, if I put a power thing in that building, it'll power the monorail up as well. It's all very difficult. Anyway, let's get some water pipes and things in, and I want them fairly close to the building so the keepers can get there. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe, oh yeah, camera doesn't go downwards, does it? Nope, into the building. Thank you. So a keeper can at least get in here. I need a keeper to get outside though, don't I? Yep, we need it outside. Can we move it outside? It needs to be outside. Simply because we need a keeper to get into the actual enclosure to feed the animals and replenish all the other feeding platforms and things. I think for the time being, I'm just going to pop a few things on the floor, or pretty much on the floor. Just so staff can get to them, lemurs can get to them, and we're not worried about anything like that. I could put the bedding inside. I am going to have to do some work in here anyway. So for now that will do. Feeding water, enrichment. Here we go. This is the thing that we're after. So food enrichment. Now I'm tempted to put this in here and then sort of hide it with some plants and things. We want an area where they're going to come round here. I think we're going to put this over here. Maybe the roller over here. This seems to be a place that the animals like anyway in the actual zoo. There we go. Toys. You'd like some toys, wouldn't you? have that there. Let's put the old keyboard, because that appears to be a thing that they like a lot. And we'll pop a small ball in somewhere fairly flat, because it's going to roll away, isn't it? Oh, they always roll away, those things. And maybe we can just pop this over here. So we are getting the animals going in all the different places. And finally, cardboard boxes. Maybe a couple. Maybe one like that. Right. All right. I'm fairly happy that we've got the environment about right. We need to put plants in now, which is going to be the problem here. So it did say Africa and tropical. Did I come in here and put those on? When did I do that? And what I'll do now is I'll go back to speeding the game up, and we'll see if we can just get enough in that the animals are happy, and then I'll take the animals back out, because obviously we've got major issues with climbing and over the roof, and then I'll need to try and sort this this barrier out. I'm really disappointed that this barrier doesn't extend across here, so that this is higher. I'll need to have a look at that and see if there's something I can do with that. Does it just make the gate higher? Can we put that on? See, it doesn't actually do anything. It's really disappointing. Am I doing something wrong with it? Is it me? No, that's really disappointing. Oh well, never mind. When the buildings are built, it'll look a bit better. But how do I stop them getting over here? This is going to be an issue. Maybe we can put something on the roof. All right. Well, let me crack on with it, and I'll get back to you soon. Okay, folks, for now I'm going to leave it there. I think that the actual outside area is a pretty good representation of what we actually have at Chester Zoo. It's got the path working. It's got some kind of gravel around the side of the path where there is gravel around the side of the path. This area is a lot more wooded than the rest of it, and a lot of the trees along this side are fairly young because they've only just been planted. The reason I'm going to leave it there is we've done as much as we can, I think, with the outside, and I'm happy that it's a good representation. It looks good, fits into the park nicely. The problem I've got is this building needs a lot of work, and I think what I need to do is mess around with it. In real life, as I've mentioned, this door is actually here. There is a corridor runs along here, and there's another room in here. If I put the staff door in there, there is no way for the staff to get from inside there to out here to put food on these platforms. So I'll need to go away and have a look at the actual plans of the building and see if there's a way of doing that. Maybe I need to put a door there or whatever I need to do. I need to just go and have a glance at that and see what I need to do with that. The other thing is I need to now try and find if there are photos of this side of the building, and then if there are photographs, I'll be able to work out how the animals get in and out of the sleeping quarters inside here to the actual enclosure, and also how do I stop the animals getting out over the top of this building, and once these two buildings are built up, over the top of those as well. So there's quite a bit to do, and I'm a bit short on information, so I need to go away, get the information and do that. What I'll do is I'll probably not record those as a video. I'll probably do the changes so that I'm happy, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. But I think for now we've got a nice outdoor lemur enclosure. It's one of 3 enclosures in this area. This is also a lemur enclosure, and we'll be doing that building in another video. And then there's the fossa enclosure, which I'll be doing in a 3rd video of this area. But I think that looks pretty good, and I think that's a good representation of what we were aiming for. And that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a strange video. It's sort of half started with a building and finished with the building not actually changing that much. But there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. And that's it for me today. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, then, pop something in the comments. Tell me what it is you don't like about the builds or about my videos, or please don't complain about my voice. There's not a lot I can do about my voice, but, and that's it for me for today. Thanks for watching. My name's Backblast. I'll see you next time.